Hi everybody, calling you everybody since I'm assuming that there are now 3 people who are going to watch this. It is really, I think, time for a summer update on the garden, and I just looked at the 2 older videos and my goodness, it is time. So much has changed. So I'm going to start with an overview again. The roses here up here, they have already flowered the first time, and well, there's so much to see, I'm sorry, but I'm just going to start with the roses. They have flowered for the first time, and then I wasn't as diligent with pruning as last year, and I also didn't want to be as diligent as last year. So they're not really that big on flowering a second time. So last year that looked different, but aside from the roses, everything else looks much better than last year. I've started wood chipping this bed, and I underplanted this blood red fake plum tree a couple of times with that longevity Chinese climber, but that never, always eaten up by the snails. So now I've underplanted it with one evergreen and one not evergreen clematis, and we'll see how that works. And there is a Solomon seal there that has been doing quite well there, and some new plants overall, so that looks a bit nicer now. So here we can of course see the biggest change in the garden. I really like how this is coming together. Everything has taken but one pawpaw tree, which is a big pity, of course. But at least I got a voucher, because it was a pretty expensive tree, but the nursery gave me a voucher over the whole amount, which I used for other things, because they aren't really that, they don't offer pawpaw varieties, only the non-variety basic version. And I decided I want to get another variety in to fit the one that I have. And actually the one that I have used to be doing really well until we went on holiday, and then I think it got badly sunburned and draughted. So it's looking really bad right now, and I'll show you that, and I'm hoping that it will survive, and then I will plant a second one. I really want pawpaws, but yeah, it's not that easy. Look, the mulberry there is doing really well. I've planted a lot more. I'm gonna do a count in the end of and try to estimate how much I planted this year, but it was a lot. The herb bed is doing really well. The oregano is loving this garden, and I love the oregano and all the bees and everything, but it has crowded out some other things. So the rosemary likes the protection because that had gotten a bit damaged in the winter, but the thyme really doesn't like the competition. So I had this really nice bed here of creeping thyme, and it's completely, well, nearly completely dead. And there is a snail there. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a lot of snail pressure because it was really dry, and now it's been super wet. Well, here's some mint, which I'm not so sure why that lost that many leaves in the middle that I'm now noticing, but the mint is starting to come in flower, and I really like that. Absinthe, I think you would call it in English, echinacea, that I've just recently planted in between this fennel, this rocket salad, and the absinthe is a and see, that is getting eaten up by something as well, is the one of the ones that I had planted in the very beginning. It's a Amelanchier Martin variety. So now over here, the sweet Sicely, I have 2 plants, and they've both done well, but I mean, I've eaten some of the seeds, and now not enough were left over, so I was hoping it could, establish some more, but I'm not sure that's gonna happen. And I've planted quite a bit and different varieties of geranium here, and I really like this variety. It's Has reddish leaves and these nice flowers. It's more of a lower version. Really nice. I hope this becomes very big. I am a big fan of Echinacea as well. This is the not so good looking one. I'll get over to the better looking one in a second. Then this is Mentha suavulens, apple mint, which is doing really well. But yesterday I noticed, oh look, I wonder what kind of animal that is. Yesterday I noticed that it looks like it has moldy leaves, and I wonder what that is about. No clue. Okay, so then here I had some dill that's already done flowering, but it looked so nice. So I want to have more dill in the garden. I also actually have quite a lot of fennel, like the one you saw here. There's another one there. I have a bronze fennel down there. And then I also distributed some seeds, so I have some really small fennels as well. Everywhere where there was dirt exposed, I've thrown around Phacelia seeds, and that has worked really well. And when they are done flowering, I'm cutting them down to release some nitrogen into the ground. That's what I understand is going to happen. But while they're flowering, I can't because there's so many pollinators on them. This is a raspberry here. I planted a lot of raspberries, and this has grown very long. And I don't have a trellis here yet, but I think I'm going to put at least 2 or 3. Well, I'm looking for cattle panel trellises, you know, that you can put around here. But I don't know if I can get cattle panels in Germany. I don't even, in America that seems to be the thing, and in the UK and here I don't even know where to get that. So that's something that I'm still, there's one of the tomatoes is in between here. Somehow it's turned a bit flat, but I have some nice experiences with flat tomatoes. I'll show you the best one in a minute. And then here Nigella, which I think is so pretty, also in Amelanchier. This one is the one Amelanchier with some kind of leaf problems, but it was the one that fruited the most. Very tasty. This is a tomato variety. I have no clue what they are. I thought I only planted cherry tomatoes, and then this came out. And it has been eaten by snails, and it's not turning red at all. Look, there's nasty snail on it. But I'm not into cutting up snails like my mom does. Oh, see, this is so interesting. Look, big holes in it, snails living in it. Crazy. And since they don't seem, I don't know, maybe it's a green tomato, and I didn't realize that it was fine to eat like this. But yeah, my parents go through the garden and cut up snails, but that's just not for me. Another raspberry here. And I want them to spread anyway, but since there's also one here, I thought I might put another trellis up here and lean it against it. Okay, so here's the third Amelanchier. This one is looking the best leaf-wise, also fruited nicely. I've put down so many strawberries, and there's an allium leek kind of thing, but we never had enough, never ever. I hope that maybe next year we'll have enough, but I thought this year we would have enough, and we didn't, not close, and we lost. Yeah, no, so we need so much more strawberries. I really love this, just by the look of it. It's called Alant. Oh, what's the Latin name? Can't think of it right now, but it's supposed to flower at some point. But it's not yet, but it's so nice looking. It has some medicinal qualities, but not too huge. Very soft fur underneath the leaves, and I like it and like the look, want more of it. This rhubarb was doing the best at some point, but at the moment all the rhubarb is, well, this is at least putting out new growth, but I've lost one rhubarb. This is the pawpaw that didn't take. So I haven't ripped it out yet. I don't know, hope dies last, I guess, but yeah, that's the one that didn't work out. I just also planted one of the tree nurseries close by. They had a sale, everything was 50%. So I bought some stuff that, I went bargain hunting. And this is one of the dwarfing apple trees that I bought there. It seems to have a leaf issue that it came with already. So potentially I imported a leaf issue. But then I thought, oh well, let's see how it does next year. Because they have not been taking too good care of the plants anymore there. And now that it's in a better condition, we'll see. I also, where I had exposed soil, I distributed some radish sprout seeds and they turned into nice radishes, and some I have eaten. So I realized how handy and quick growing radishes are. But as you see, since it's become so humid, everything is being eaten up. I like this spot here because it's kind of an established guild already. There's leek that I let go to flower. Where's the flower? There's the flower. This is the Halesia carolina, the snowbell bush, some fennel, some whatever that is called in English, melde. Is that called a stone rose in English? Stockrose in German. This one. Daylilies, exactly. I just put this daylily here recently. And then this is the most successful tomato. It is just one plant and it is crazy how many tomatoes are on there. I would say it's over 100 right now. Possibly. Yeah, I'd actually say, and it's just one plant and it has spread out. And of course, some are eaten by the snails, but here it's not actually that bad. So but because it's not been warm enough anymore, the tomatoes aren't turning red that well. So I'm harvesting them slightly under red and just let them lie around a bit, and then that works too. So at least this whole experiment of just planting out tomatoes into the wild, and I mean, I looked for varieties. They're all organic from an organic nursery. I looked for varieties that should be able to be fine getting rain on their heads, and this one, I mean, it's amazing. This is the bronze fennel, which I love the color of the flowers. And then the grapes have put on a lot of fruit. Very nice, starting to turn blue. I'm not gonna let the bird get those this year, because we're not planning to go on holiday again. Hidden leek. So this bed I chopped and dropped a lot. And I recently planted 2 valerian plants in here and realized that the soil is actually quite good. A lot of activity in the soil, very nice. Yeah, other than that, this bed, not too much has happened to, because it was a pre-existing bed with the roses. And it's such a pity, these roses suffer so much from the rain. They always look not very nice when they get raindrops on them, which they now get a lot. It's their second flush of flowers already. And this is my favorite rose, which is just putting out its second flowers. And I hope that the weather will turn and then these ones won't get so damaged. The peach tree that I bought at Aldi and planted, which hasn't flowered this year, but I also bought it quite late, but otherwise it's looking good. I think I might need to weigh these down a bit so that the angle becomes better of them, the way that they grow, but I haven't gotten around to it yet. A lot of mint, and then I let these, I think they might be called stone roses, stay. Last year I ripped it all out. This year I let them stay, and they are the best looking ones of all the ones that I have. So this is my other pawpaw right next to another raspberry. This is a white raspberry that's also doing really well. But this pawpaw was looking really good. All the leaves were fine, and now It looks like that, and I'm worried. But I kind of hope that it will survive until next year. A lot of borage everywhere that I planted. And there was a rhubarb here, and that just died while we were on holiday. I have no clue. Can rhubarb die if it gets too dry? My walking onions aren't really doing that great, the ones that I planted last fall. I mean, this one had some bulbs on top that I took and distributed, but yeah, they're not leaning over as they should. So walking onions too are alive, but not a huge success yet. Oh, the rain is starting up again. So here's aronia. I have 3 aronia bushes and a great harvest that I'm going to take in soon. Luckily here the birds don't seem to know aronia and don't eat it yet, and it's getting better by the day. More lovely fennel. Some white borage variety. Another tomato. And then a apple tree that I planted recently, also from that nursery sale. Dwarf pear tree. The red bud is doing fine. This is a josta berry, and this is lovely night viola. Agastache foeniculum also turned out really nice. Love the taste for tea. Really, really nice. And I planted a couple of oh goodness, lost my English. I'm not speaking English enough anymore. Sanddorn in German. It will come to me. So this is the male version in a dwarf, and then I have 2 females, one over there and one over there. I need to take the phone in soon, otherwise it will get too wet. Some tree spinach, which has been doing really nicely. I bought a small plant and this is what it turned into. The goji is now also setting some new growth, but hasn't flowered. But this goji is doing really well. The one there in the back has been eaten too much. Okay. And now I have to finish up because the rain gets too heavy. But look at this, finally, at this little guild, which only misses a tree. So it has a lonicera, it has understory, geranium, strawberry, nigella, schafgarbe, can't think of it in English right now, and sanddorn. So that now just needs a tree, and then it's a proper guild. I have some other new stuff, but that is for a less rainy time. Bye.